Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do kind of a quick update about the autofocus things going on in this camera. And just to let you know, the last few days have been really dark outside. So the overall ambient light in my office has been pretty dim in the morning times, and that's when I film these videos. Well, to do that, I start off on the low base ISO and Vlog, which is 640 or whatever, and that's too dark. I can't add any more light in here. I could turn on the overhead lights in my office and add some ambient light, but I think that looks terrible to the overall picture. So I just wound up leaving it off because I don't like the looks of the overhead. How it's like a LED light right over my head. I just don't like it. So what I do is what I've been doing is going to the second base ISO, and so when I go to the second base ISO, which is 5,000, the scene is too bright. So what I do is, because I don't have an ND filter, is I use aperture to bring down the exposure. That has worked on all my previous cameras. Like I do that all the time in all my Sonys, because like on the Sony FX30, if you're using Cine EI, you only have two different ISO values. So if it's too dark in the first one, you go to the second one, and that's what you use. And you kind of work with that. The last two videos that I've done, sitting right here in this office, the autofocus has been absolutely terrible. And right now, I'm sitting at, the exposure looks good to me in the screen. Like I don't want all this to be too bright, you know? The overall exposure is looking pretty good to me, and I'm at 5.6, but let's bring it down, and I'm at -1 or 1 1/3. That's what I am. But we'll go ahead and bring this up to where it's 0 and see if the autofocus is any better, and if I'm able to bring down any of this stuff in post, because I don't want the whole scene to be bright. I just want my face to light up and this scene to be relatively dark with the practicals, you know, kind of showing up like I want them to. Anyway, really been struggling with the autofocus in this camera the last two videos. I don't know why that has been. I think it's been because it's been low light scenarios. I'm using the second base ISO. Maybe it's just not seeing my face that well. The first time I was just using the standard straight out of the box autofocus settings, 0 sensitivity and 0 speed. So in the video yesterday, I used -2 on the speed and +2 on the sensitivity, and you could see it was jumping all over the place. And all this time I've been using face, eye, body. That's what I've been using. So today I decided to switch it up a little bit. I'm on +2 on the speed and -1 on the sensitivity, and I try to bring up the overall exposure value in the camera to -1 1/3, which is, I don't know. To me, it looks too bright on the screen, but I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like in post. And then also, instead of face, eye, body, I've used just the eye auto tracking, which isn't necessarily what I want. I don't want the face, eye, only eye all the time. I like the face, eye, body, because sometimes when you're filming, you get a scenario where somebody turns their head and you just want the whole body to be in focus, or so on and so forth. But this isn't the ideal thing to me. Just the face, just the eye. So I don't know how it's going to look, but we'll see. We'll try out this auto setting and see. And the main thing that I'm struggling with this particular camera is the autofocus going to be reliable? And you see tons of videos that say the autofocus is reliable, and then you see just a few videos that are getting the kind of results that I'm getting, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? This isn't reliable. So I'm just trying to work out the best settings. And the problem that I've found with the Panasonic cameras is it's always something. You're looking for the next setting, you're looking for the next update, blah, 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 to get the camera to work good for you. It's just kind of frustrating to me. And I don't want to get stuck with the camera that past the return date, and specifically a Lumix camera. And you might ask yourself, why is that? And the reason that is because it's incredibly difficult to sell a Lumix camera on like Facebook Marketplace or anything like that. Like, people just in general don't use Lumix cameras. So they're harder to sell. The lenses are harder to sell. All the peripherals are harder to sell. It's just more difficult to sell, and you never get what you think you should get out of it because Panasonic is always fluctuating with the price. Like one day it might be this price, and then, you know, I guarantee before Christmas they're going to lower the price $600-700 to sell more units, which is, you know, awesome. Every company should do that. I wish everybody would, you know, be that flexible with the price, but then it lowers the used prices as well. So if you pay it a higher amount, now all of a sudden you can get it at a sale price, you know, it devalues your camera even more. And then you can't sell it on Marketplace or anything, so you're looking like at KEH or MPB, and they won't give you hardly anything for them because they're going through the same scenario. It just a Lumix camera is, you need to make sure that you lock it before you wind up keeping it past the return date, and that's kind of where I'm sitting. So I'm struggling with this camera. I don't want to be stuck with a camera that I just don't use very much at all, or I can't sell. And I want to get all this sorted out before the return date. Let me know if these autofocus settings work any better. There is part of this camera that I really enjoy. I really enjoy the picture coming out of it. I enjoy the colors. The V-Log is super easy to grade. I really like working with it. The screen is awesome and nice and bright, way brighter than Sony's. There's a lot of pluses about the camera. It's just that, man, if the autofocus isn't where I want it to be, if I can't just set the camera down and have it focus on my face and hit me the way and do what I want it to do, then it's a no-go for me because, you know, I'm a one-man operation here. I don't have somebody running the camera for me. I can't check focus all the time, and I can't deal with all the pulsing, and I can't deal with all the bad autofocus. So let me know what you think about the autofocus today. Was it any better at all? If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. And I didn't want to do a bunch of videos about this S1 II. I just did not want to do them. It's just where I am. It's what I'm doing currently. I think it's important to see the camera of warts and all, and the progression that one has to make a camera work for them. Sometimes you only see the good parts, and I think that's misleading a little bit. I think it's important to show the bad parts, what you can do to lead up to a camera actually being good for you. So just my thoughts for the day. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.